Yo, what's up, Winner Squad? Oliver, guys, and I got the combo of pizza and 2 corn dogs. You guys already know. Plus, I got the honey mustard sauce to go with it. Bro, that's the sauce on top and make everything work. Guys, we got some powerful stuff to talk about today. I actually did my second Final Fantasy IX run. Got 11 hours and 20 minutes. There's about an hour of time saved, so we're gonna get that 959 pretty soon. Pretty excited for that. Now, gamers, let's talk about some gameplay stuff today because there's some important gameplay stuff to talk about as well. But let's get into this food. I'll see you guys, well, right now actually. There's only one piece of cheese pizza left, and it was kind of a small slice. I feel kind of scammed on that, but whatever. It's really good pizza, so. Okay, guys, so I was feeling a little bit depressed today, and thank God I'm doing these vlogs because honestly, they're hard to do sometimes. You walk around, it's like you're not feeling too good, you're losing your confidence, and it's like you don't want to. You don't want to make a video, going outside, talking to people. I had a guy walk by earlier, he said, how's your vlog going? This guy had an N95 mask on his forehead. It's clearly high. Okay. But apparently he was having a great day, so. It's going really good. Right on, dude. That dude's 100% high. The point is, sometimes you get depressed, and right now, I'm glad I'm doing these vlogs. Honestly, my mentality and attitude in life and my motivation has very much improved in the last 6 days of this 30-day accountability challenge and no excuse challenge. The no excuses thing, I just created that on the day 2. I'm like, why don't we just have no excuses as well? Yeah, I'm feeling like pretty good about this whole thing. In fact, I'm feeling so good about it. I actually want to make my Twitch stream better. I want to make my my main YouTube channel. I almost want to go back to vlogging on my main YouTube channel, but not do it about gameplay stuff and just have a vlogging channel and have a gameplay channel. The truth is, I can make multiple of these videos in one day. They're pretty easy to make if you have the self-esteem. But yeah, guys, let's get into some gameplay stuff. So somebody on my Discord, my Patreon Discord. By the way, big shout out to my Patreon members. You guys rock. Okay, you guys are epic and alpha gamers. This guy on my Patreon Discord, he said, "Hey, give me the like something simple, a beginner tutorial for natural gameplay. I want to start naturalizing my gameplay right now, like tonight. Like, give me a beginner tutorial." And I was like, oh, you know what, friend? I actually did make a video on this back in June, but let's take that and then let's expand on it and let's elaborate on it, because what I said back in June was to simplify your gameplay, like radically simplify your gameplay. Like, do something, do a tournament match or do a friendly and take it seriously, or do a, just do something that like is a example of your gameplay, right? If I was playing League of the Past or a speedrun, I would just do a full speedrun. Do the run and then go watch the VOD, like look at the VOD. I mean, this could take 30 minutes total. Look at the VOD and then really analyze, like, what is too complicated? What are you doing that's outside of your skill level, that's above your skill level? Mechanics that you don't understand that you're simply just doing because why the hell not? Stuff that you're doing that's clearly wrong. And try to find, like, simplify everything. Try to find identifiable, simple stuff, or identifiable stuff that you can make simpler. So in like League of Legends, a good example of that is that sometimes you just get caught you just get caught and you get bodied, and it's like, well, that kind of stuff is more complicated. Maybe the opponents are really good, maybe you got unlucky. Like, that stuff, it's harder to simplify, so forget about that stuff. But stuff like where you're trying to do combos in fighting games is a good example. You're trying to do combos that you really can't do or aren't necessary, or that you need to make cleaner and simpler. So a good example of this, I used to play Super Smash Bros. Melee, and I would play Falco, and I would frequently jump into the opponents with a neutral air, and they would shield grab me. And when I watch top players, they don't get shield grabbed, and I would just assume that, I don't know, I just do it again. I just assume that next time it would go better, right? So I just keep doing it. And I'd keep getting shield grabbed, and every time I got shield grabbed, I would get bodied, and I would just hope I didn't get shield grabbed. And when I had to seriously try and make an effort to beat an opponent, I realized I couldn't jump into the enemy and just do a neutral air. And I didn't have a game plan, I didn't have a strategy, so I would just kind of like stall the game out. This doesn't make any sense. Like, this is one of these issues that needs to be fixed. Like, I'm doing something that doesn't work. I don't have a reason for it. And maybe it's too complicated, or maybe it goes beyond my skill level, but this needs to be fixed. So when I say needing to naturalize your gameplay, I'm literally asking for you to look at your gameplay and look at what the hell you're doing wrong and what you don't understand and what doesn't work, and fix it. And fix it by making stuff that doesn't work, right? Addressing what does work. And that's why I'm saying look at the, for example, my Falco, my neutral airs. Literally look at the neutral airs and be like, okay, why is this not working? When does this work and when does it not work? What is the opponent doing to make it not work? What can I do in place of this? Like, I need to solve these problems. I need to answer these questions. I have to answer these questions. And on top of that, I have to be able to do this in game. Like, my gameplay cannot go anywhere. It can't go anywhere until I fundamentally solve these problems. But I played Melee for years with never addressing this. Literally for years I played the game and I never addressed these fundamental issues. That doesn't make any sense. So that's kind of what I'm asking for you guys when I say, hey, naturalize your gameplay. Now, it goes deeper than that. Because when I started, why did I get stuck on that for years? Why did I even start naturalizing my gameplay? I had an epiphany about gameplay. I had a true epiphany and I realized and I could visually see gameplay naturalization in real time. And I still can see this. I can visually see gameplay that's unnatural and I can make it natural through seeing it and through critical thought. My goal is for you guys to have the same epiphany about gameplay that I had. Now, when I looked into this more, it wasn't really an epiphany. I had done months of thinking critically about gameplay before that point, and then I had lost a serious important match in Super Smash Bros. Melee, and upon losing this match and reevaluating the gameplay and running through my theories, I figured out what I was missing, right? I made some connections and I started to figure out why my gameplay was bad. My value systems in Melee actually changed. This happened in Melee, by the way, Super Smash Bros. Melee. At that point, I quit playing Melee, and then I started speedrunning again. I went back to A Link to the Past. My gameplay in A Link to the Past radically improved. My consistency radically improved. I started creating a bunch of new strategies. I started finding new things in the game. Things really started upgrading, and then I actually started upgrading my life in general. That's part of the reason I started vlogging online on YouTube. I figured, why the hell not? You know, it's generally a productive use of time. But in gameplay, what I started doing was thinking critically. Now, gamers, what I want you guys to do for natural gameplay, to naturalize your gameplay, fundamentally, you have to think more critically about gameplay. Like, that's what matters. That's the most important aspect. That's at core is what's going to make a difference here. It's not necessarily the results you get. It's not necessarily the strats you're able to come up with. It's not necessarily like winning, you know, if you're able to win a tournament, who cares, right? This doesn't really matter. If you want to radically change your gameplay, which you can, and reach higher understanding of gameplay, you need to think more critically and you need to think logically consistent about gameplay. These are absolutely essential. So let's give an example. Let's say you don't want to choke in gameplay. If you don't want to choke in gameplay, this is actually not a logically consistent methodology to get better at gameplay. Okay, let's give an example. So let's say a runner suggests that they need to stop choking in runs in order to do better, right? This is actually not a logically consistent statement, and if you build gameplay off a logically inconsistent statement like this one, it follows that you're going to get flawed gameplay. So let's look at, why is this statement logically inconsistent? Well, there are many ways to not choke in gameplay, like in a speedrun. So one way to never choke in a speedrun is to not take the speedrun seriously ever. Never take it seriously and never be in a situation where your run is good. At that point, you can actually never choke, right? You'll never choke again. But that doesn't give you good gameplay, right? This actually proves that the argument that somebody needs to stop choking is logically unsound. It's logically inconsistent. You don't want to build gameplay from that basis. Now let's give a logically consistent statement like, a better speedrun is always faster. This is true. This is true. It's 100% true. It's logically consistent. So if you build a basis of gameplay from that statement, or that belief, really, that's what we're going into, you're gonna get gameplay that's logically consistent and that's technologically sound, right? That's big. It's the same argument as if you built an airplane off of physics that were logically inconsistent. Maybe there's a chance that the airplane doesn't crash and burn, but I would think that at least there's a pretty high chance eventually it will crash and burn, right? That's because the fundamental logic that you built this airplane on was not consistent. It was wrong, right? Of course you're gonna get the wrong output. It's the same with gameplay. If you build gameplay off of a mentality or off of a belief system that's logically not consistent or that's logically wrong, you're gonna get something that's gonna crash and burn. There are tons of examples of this. One is that I need to get less nervous to win. This is logically not consistent. Another one is, if I can't win here, I'm not gonna be able to win any of the future matches, right? I need to win this match. That's logically not true. Don't build gameplay off that. There are hundreds of these examples. Guys, comment below what your favorite examples of this. There's countless examples of this, and the issue is that when you build gameplay off this, you get the wrong result. So that's what I need you guys to do. I need you guys to think more logically and more consistent and more critically about gameplay. Like, instead of playing a game for 6 hours, why don't you play a game for 5 hours and then spend 1 hour analyzing the game, like reviewing the VODs, right? That's gonna be way more productive than just playing for 6 hours. I mean, you can play for 5.5 hours and then review the VODs for 30 minutes, right? That's gonna be far more productive than just playing for 6 hours. Imagine if you did that for 6 months in a row. Like, you're gonna get a lot better as a player. Oh yeah, another logically inconsistent thing that people do and say is they'll practice and then they'll assume and they'll equate that to being identical to a run. That's not true, right? Practice is very different than a run for a bunch of different reasons. So another thing that people will literally build their gameplay off of this idea that you could just practice something and then 100% equate it to a high pressure situation. All right, guys, I'm gonna end this vlog here, but I'll spoil my what my epiphany was. Well, let's walk around. I'll talk about it.